Today on the Parts Bin, we're talking about aftermarket cranks. In the diesel world, there's not a lot of offerings as far as aftermarket cranes go. There's a ton of companies that make these for gasoline applications. Different companies build their whole business around cranks and gasoline applications because they're so weak. Well, the Cummins one's pretty stinking strong from the factory. The problem is they're crazy expensive from the factory. If you want to build a 6.7 Cummins and your crank is shot, expect to pay a lot of cash for a 6.7 crank. So this is really cool because this is an aftermarket offering. This is actually made by Hamilton cams. Both of these are, and these are two different cranks. I want to tell you about them. First off, right here to my left, this is a Hamilton stock replacement crank. This is just like, well, almost, there's a little difference. This is like a full weight normal crank. And so if you build a 6.7, you ruin a crank, this is a cheaper option than finding a genuine Cummins OEM crank. It's really cool. This one here is our lightened crank. This is for a hot rod application. This crank weighs about 135 to 138 pounds, depending on which one you weigh. That's the range for a stock crank. This one's going to come right at 100 to 103. This one weighs exactly 100 pounds, this crank right here. So where did we lose the weight? You'll notice on every one of these journals or throws, the counterweights, the counter stuff is gone. This one comes way back here. This one stops. This one stops. All these stop. He's taking the weight off the back side here. This crank is going into that 2010, or went into that 2010 build, depending when you watch this video. And so this is a crank we're going to use to test out with those in a common rail block. So why do you need the weights and why do you not need the weights? Anything that spins, you have to accelerate. Your wheels, your drive shaft, your transmissions, your crank. When it's a low RPM to a high RPM, it takes power to increase the rotational speed of anything. So you take off weight here, you're taking off resistance, and so it's a free way to get horsepower. Why you might want one of these? The reason, well, one of the reasons that this is so heavy is for the guys who have manual trucks. This makes it so you can dump the clutch and it won't stall your engine. If you've ever done that, it's amazing how well it actually works. I remember one time I thought I was in neutral, but I wasn't, and I was right in front of my garage, and I let off the clutch just like you would if it's in neutral, just dump the clutch, and I about ran right through my garage door. The truck did not die, it just went, and I was about to run through my garage door. Luckily, I got to stop before the garage door, but if you've ever dumped the clutch in first gear in a Cummins, you know it doesn't stop, it just goes. A lot of that has to do with the rotational mass, because this crank is so heavy and spinning, all that weight just pulls you forward. That's one of the reasons it has so much torque off idle. This one, it might die if you dump the clutch, but if you don't care about that and you just want free horsepower, free engine speed, this is a good option. Another really cool feature about these cranks that is not found in a stock Cummins crank is this guy right here. The Cummins crank comes with this hole here. This is a dowel hole to align your gear. Okay, it aligns your gear and it holds your gear in place. This dowel engages, your crank engages about half of the dowel. And on the P-pump trucks, what we always have to do is we actually weld the gear onto the crank because it will actually spin. It'll shear that pin because for one, you only have one of them, and second, it's only halfway engaged. It'll actually start to shear that pin. And so just old hot rodders trick is people just weld different spots of that gear on the crank. It's not there's really nothing else you can really do. You got to have that gear not move on the crank. So what Hamilton did is he gave you an additional dowel location. So with both of these, that gear slides over and now you have two dowels holding it. That's going to really make it so you don't have to weld it. With two of these in place holding your gear, you shouldn't have to weld anymore. So I'm really excited about that because it'll hold it in place. You don't have to worry about the metal and the welding and the heat and the electricity and all the good stuff that happens with welding. So it's a really good option. So if you're wanting to build a 6.7, this is a good way to do it. Every time we use a crank here, we get it machined, we make sure it's straight, we make sure it's balanced. So we took both these cranks to get done. This crank here was straight, true, and came in really close to balancing. We had to take a very minimal material to get this thing just perfect. This was straight, all the journals were correct size per Cummins spec as this one, but this one needed a little bit more weight taken off. We had to drill here and here, and I think somewhere over there, I don't remember where, but we had to take a little bit more weight off this one than that one. So anyway, anytime you get even a factory crank, we have to sometimes drill. So if you're going to build a new engine, make sure don't just slap it in there. You need to make sure it's straight, that the journal sizes are right, and make sure it's balanced. I personally, after I went to UCC the first time and had that big cubic inch engine, I never want to have anything different. I am stuck on a 6.7 crank. They spool turbos so much easier. They just pull away from a stoplight so much easier. So I like the big cubic inches. So this gives you a way to build a big cubic inch engine, either in a Hamilton block or in a 6.7 block. If you find a core block with a bad crank, here's a good option for you. So anyway, we have these here. If you have any questions, you need one, give us a call. And hopefully you learned something about cranks today. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.